What's good, Flow State Jedis? It's great to connect with you all again. My name is Sumed. Welcome to the channel. Today, I'm feeling blissful, man. I'm feeling really blissful because woke up early this morning to learn some grappling. And honestly, man, it felt like a rebirth, you know? Because you can't think in that moment, right? You can only flow. You can only feel through the pressure and the lock and trying to escape and these little minimal, movements. So I received a question about boredom, okay? How do I stop getting bored? I feel like, I'm on this path to boredom almost, in a sense. Like I feel bored every single day and I don't have anything to do. Your life is too comfortable, okay? that's where I want to start, okay? Your life is way too fucking comfortable. You need to challenge yourself in some sense, okay? In order to beat boredom down, you have to get good at being mindful and being very present with the moment. I could say, I'm not doing anything right now, I'm bored, I don't know what to do. You see, you've decided upon that frequency of boredom. In the flow state, all it means is you haven't challenged yourself enough. If you look at the challenge skills ratio, right? Now, a lot of the times you got to look forward to something in life, okay? You've got to understand that there's certain things that are exciting to you. They move the pendulum. There's that magnetism or that gravitational pull that moves you towards certain activities and certain things and certain colors and sounds and tastes and different interests and TV shows and clothing choices. And everything is shifting constantly. Last night we channeled the elemental king of water, King Nixa, who's always an incredibly uplifting, fun, intense, blissful, peaceful energy that I've ever encountered, at least. I definitely want to chill with King Nixa as a friend because he's really taught me about my emotions and how to transmute, sublimate, really be the greatest pleasure alchemist of how can I deal with these lower basal emotions? I think it was James Dean who once said, be always new. Is that a quote by him? Be always new, okay? Every moment I'm always new. So there's no such thing as boredom. Because this is like a PowerPoint presentation, like a slide after a slide of reality. It's not the whole thing. Nixa was talking about coming from that pure light of awareness that causes a refraction of a rainbow. And the rainbow that we see out here in the physical world, it's an illusion, okay? So you might zoom in on the green and see a bunch of traumas, but that's still coming from that white light, that pure presence, that throne as he calls it, right? I think when you're bored, you're focusing so much on this holographic reality. You're trying to base yourself based on society's merits, standards, protocols, and that's okay. I mean, of course, you got to merge with society in some sense, right? You're part of society, like whether you like it or not. You can go off the grid, you're still a part of society, right? Because we're all interconnected in that sense. Listen, energy amplifies, right? So maybe you're around a lot of boring people, right? Have you ever thought of that? That, hey, I'm bored, but nobody around me is really that driven, really that ambitious, has kind of like this goal in mind and moving towards something. They're kind of just like, yeah, it's just another day. They get crunk again, right? Let's just turn up again this weekend. Guess we have nothing else to do, right? And so you fall into this pattern of mundanity. But something that King Nixa said, which I think can help you out with this question of boredom, spontaneity comes from knowing thyself. Once you know thyself, you're free to play the instrument, right? It's like you learn the instrument, then you can freely play it. So you don't fully know yourself, that's why you're bored. You don't know all the crevices and cracks of your beingness. You get what I mean? Like, you don't know the high places and the low places yet. And you're looking outside, trying to do things rather than be. You're focusing so much on the doing that you're forgetting about the beingness and just taking a breath. Enjoying the sounds, right? Listen to the birds, man. This is so beautiful out here, man. I love getting out here. I should do this more often. A lot of people have this protocol when they're bored, that I'm gonna find something to do that will distract myself from my boredom, okay? Whereas you just need to feel into it, that boredom, and get more curious about that boredom. What's really going on underneath this boredom? Am I mistaking relaxation for boredom? Is it that I'm isolated and I'm feeling bored? Is it that I don't have any hobbies or things that are actually keeping me engaged? Maybe you want to learn a new musical instrument or learn a new language or, try a different kind of class online. Yeah, sure, there are ways to do that, but don't use it as a crutch to take you away from the present moment. Okay? Genuinely be curious and interested in that as if it's your life path and you're going to gain mastery or expertise over something. It's going to keep you very, very sovereign and in your own reality. When you're in that scroll zombie state on social media, right? I catch myself, right, going through reels. It's a horrible habit, okay? That's what we generally do when we're bored. We fill our minds and overstimulate our minds to make up for it, right? To compensate in some sense. That, oh, look at this person, they have an incredible life, and I'm over here scrolling, right? That's subconsciously what we're hitting ourselves with, this information. I would say if you're bored, try and keep your phone away from you like 2 hours before you sleep. Why? Because the state of sleep, you're going into another realm, okay? That liminal space between sleep, the turiya, okay? Someone's asking me about chitta, by the way. Chitta is just mind, okay? What I meant by chitta is bodhicitta, okay? Where it's a more subtler aspect of the mind. It's not the surface level of the waking mind, okay? And you do that through practicing a process, okay? Whether you're following a Buddhist path, I'm following the Vajrayana path, Mahamudra, okay? So the Great Seal, it's also known as. So that's the path I'm choosing for my bodhicitta awakening, the Buddha mind, right? Of course, my father is the expert there, so I gained that wisdom and knowledge from him. But yeah, about the phone thing, man, like, I keep my phone far away from my bed. I try to, at least, like most days. It doesn't happen all the time, right? I'm not gonna lie to you, sit here and tell you. But that little intention of just switching it off for a few hours, like just going for a walk or doing something else, well, oftentimes you'll notice that you're bored because you're overstimulated, okay? Pressing the brakes and the accelerator at the same time is what you're doing, okay? You're burning yourself out and now you're bored. You're in this kind of stagnant or less prana involved in this state, right? Where you're just like, maybe you feel a bit dead inside, okay? You got to raise the dead by understanding that it's all in a state of mind, okay? Boredom is just a state of mind. So if you can accept that boredom, hey, I'm bored right now, and you sit with that boredom, oftentimes it'll transform into something else, okay? That pure light of awareness, what is it saying? Hey, maybe I should look at the wall like this. Maybe I should go there. Oh, have I taken out the trash, right? We start doing these actions and you will know what to do, okay? When you're uncertain of what to do, that is boredom. But when you're confident in yourself and your beingness and you know what to do, that doesn't even enter the picture because you're just so focused on your mission and drive, right? So maybe you've lost touch with your mission and you need to remind yourself again, okay, of what you really are here to do in this physical plane. Why were you incarnated here at this time, in this timeline? This is going very esoteric. We talk a lot about archons and these parasites and these, demonic entities sometimes. They're creating this kind of, it's like a lower level of density that they're creating through AI, where these lower beings can live there. It's basically like creating a process where they can escape their karmic suffering by, going to this place. It would be more so artificially modified, okay? So these beings are not friendly at all. Some of them might have even ruled for eons and things like that. And don't go with this thing of like, oh, reptilians are bad. Man, some reptilians are actually kind and loving, okay? Like stereotyping, right, in the spiritual world. You can't be like, this race of humanoids are like this. Asian people can't drive, or this and that. Asian people can't drive. What are you talking about, bro? Have you ever seen Tokyo Drift? Like, you gotta get busy living, okay? You're not busy in life. You're busy thinking about how to impress somebody, how to do this, make it work. How will my parents like me? How will I get good grades? You're worried about these very surface level things. So of course you're gonna get bored. When I'm in the mix of learning about the rabbit hole of spirituality, you think I'm bored? I'm in deep thinking most of the time, right? I want to end this video by talking a little bit about the masculine edge and how important it is for society right now. You see, in my past relationships, I noticed that I was very feminized in the sense where my partner took on more of a masculine role and I took on more of a feminized role, where she was making the plans, she was making the decisions, let's go out to eat here, let's do this, right? And I was kind of just like going along with it, okay? Now, when that ended, I started to find my masculine polarity again. I started hitting the gym, I started, doing things that made me feel competent and masculine and actually, worthy, like really cool stuff, right? And I noticed in that process, again, but in my feminized state, I would also have Kundalini awakenings, right? I was more receptive to all the spirituality. There's a lot of, I needed that understanding of that, to be feminized, to be feminine, to be in my feminine nature. I needed that. I needed to be compassionate, but too much of anything doesn't serve you. You see what I'm saying? So you see, this whole system is masculine and feminine, okay? Notice that spirit is here. Now, sometimes when we lose that masculine edge, we feel bored. And sometimes when we lose our feminine edge, we feel bored because we're not playing our roles. We're not playing our character. Of course, there's exceptions to the rule, and you gotta find that angle of your character there. What makes me cool, man, on this video game of life? There are certain things that are my strengths. So I've gotta stay in my lane. I'm doing things that I'm not interested in or being forced to do things, therefore I am bored. You need to connect with your top strengths, okay? Keep saying this to you guys, but none of you are doing this, okay? Some of you are great students of mine, okay? Maha students, I'd call you, okay? VIA, Values in Action, okay? VIA, characterstrengths.com, I believe. And finding out what your top strength is so potent. It's so powerful. And a lot of people overlook this, but as a positive psychologist, I understand the benefit of recognizing a person's true strength. If a person's true strength is empathy, I'm gonna have them play this game of life very differently based on their strengths, okay? It's a prison term, stay in your lane, but start to understand that you really have to understand that Einstein meme, right? You can't teach a fish to climb a tree, right? Everyone's just in the schooling system is like climbing the tree, okay? We have our own intelligences, we have our own awarenesses, right? So I'm not bored, I'm just preoccupied or underoccupied, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not about finding something to do. It's about who do I need to be right now to be my best self. Relax into that. This boredom will pass, it's fleeting, okay? You're just bored for a second, it'll go away. Go for a walk. Go do something for yourself, man. Have some self-care. Do something just for you. Just for you. No, don't try to concern yourself with doing it for others. Doing it for others will come. I know you're a good person, you're a contributor, you're a compassionate person. But for right now, to get out of this boredom trap, you need to do something for you that really matters, that adds an edge, an effortlessness to your character. We need that in society. Let's get it. Upward Spiral Gang, may we never be the same again. You already know, hit that like and subscribe button. Share this with a friend if you resonate. Get them out of their boredom today. Let's go. Us.